loved ones and relatives, etc. But I ask you to remember that this is a war, and unfortunately for you, you have lost.
Tell me the name of my new master.
I need your license.
Get off! It's freezing in here!
It's not to humiliate you, or to make you cold. It's just these are easily torn and can be twisted into nooses. They're not exactly despair-proof.
Yeah, well, are you gonna turn down the air conditioning?
What master have I got?
Will he let me bring my
Hang
child?
on! And what do you care if I commit suicide? What have you done with my daughter?
Are there any midwives here?
Just in case.
I will address your questions one at a time. Firstly, in your inquiry about the air conditioning, in this prison we have a VRF system, which stands for Variable Refrigerant Flow. This comprises of multiple indoor units, such as these ones, linked back to a large condensing unit, sited externally just above the balcony of our senior sniper. These units are controlled by a programmable thermostat situated in my office. Thus, I'm in charge of ensuring a clement indoor climate for all of our lady guests. Thus, there is only one thermostat and one Talthabius. However, as queen of this burnt city, naturally you would take priority if it weren't for my responsibility to keep as many female slaves alive as possible. There are 17 cells in this surviving cell block, each with over 20 women. Some of them are gasping for air, begging me to turn up the aircon. But I've refused. On behalf of your comfort. Because I know you're old and susceptible to chills. Is that enough detail for you? Second question. Death. The desire to die always just springs out of nowhere, doesn't it? It's my job to make sure you're protected until your departure. And your daughter, Polyxena, is safe and untroubled.
Safe.
And untroubled.
Excuse me, you didn't answer any of my questions.
We're discussing my daughter. Achilles is dead, so he doesn't need her anymore. Give her back.
I guess a wife's duties are never done.
What does that mean?
Polyxena has been appointed to care for Achilles too.
What? In the dark?
Would you rather she be a concubine for some other man?
Is that the choice then for girls these days? Polish and comfortable?
Please. We understand the value of women. We let you exchange her for Hector, didn't we? We value both equally.
Except suppose Xena was alive and Hector was dead.
In war, they are worth the same. A man that's dead can't fight, and a woman can't fight. You buried your son. Be grateful.
You swapped
Your daughter.
for your son's
Corpse.
The Greeks were holding his body as ransom. The omission of burial rites is an insult to human dignity.
So you bartered.
With your daughter's life.
Hector was the noblest fighter in Troy. Would you have him hurled into an unmarked hole?
You'd rather bury your son than save your daughter
He died protecting you.
and presumably his sister.
There are certain time-honored rituals that must be. Oh, don't look at me like that. Besides, a few Hector's servants even requested sacrifice, so they could be buried with him.
Your living daughter for your son's remains.
My son was a hero!
And
Your
daughter
was
What?
I love all of my children!
Ah, yes, your other daughter, Cassandra, who you had locked away in the eaves of your palace.
She was a danger to herself. And fuck you!
We've been monitoring her in the mental ward. Are you interested in her future? She's to be taken by Agamemnon.
No, she fucking well isn't.
Language.
Apollo promised her life free from marriage.
And the gods don't break their promises. This isn't marriage per se, more a tag team situation, very modern. Now, I know it isn't pleasant, but there's nothing we can do about it.
What about Hector's wife?
Don't kick off. Andromache will be married to the son of her husband's killer. Now, before you say anything,
Hey, that's not right!
let me rephrase that. Andromache tried to escape with her baby, an act beyond stupid, and Neoptolemus just happened to catch them. The irony was an accident.
You hit an old lady in the face!
She provoked me. A decision has been made about you too, Hecuba, if you care to know.
Charming.
No probs. I'll mix up some hot water and detergent when I go to the storeroom.
I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
And you're realizing this now?
Goddess! Goddess! Lady of Troy!
But you sound demented.
Behave like the dignified women you are.
We're not the same class of woman.
Who has drawn a straw for me?
You're in the pregnancy ward with them because it's the only room with breathing space.
The verdict concerning the queen.
Take your medication first. You belong to Odysseus. Jackpot.
You saved the greatest agony for me. So that's why you're suddenly a primary care. I'm the property of your boss, and you were to hang myself with a blanket for you to degrade me.
I need you to stop answering me back.
So shoot me. shoot me.
Cassandra asked to say goodbye before we threw her in the truck. I refused, but now I think I'll allow it.
Really?
It's not a kindness.
At least she knows the worst. You haven't told me anything. What's gonna happen to me?
Me. It's all about me, isn't it? Oh, be thankful you're not a slave to Odysseus. You got wine? Sit up!
Sometimes I think I'm not a woman.
I'm just the idea of a woman. I hear a woman screaming and realize my mouth is wide open. And I'm screaming, but then I ask a question.
And it's like I'm just spitting silence.
You swallowed them, didn't you? You're pregnant, you take pills without knowing what they are.
They're for my pain.
If you don't trust him, then you shouldn't trust his medicine.
I trust pills more than people.
Well, you could have mine. I'm not.